pact once broken, forged anew. Warlocks Waffles.
Did you want waffles? Yup.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome
to the Gabby's Dollhouse fan cast. We are your hosts. Gabby's Dollhouse. If you don't know what it is a series, a children's series about a girl named Gabby and her dollhouse. And she puts on these cat ears. She pinches them. And she goes into the said dollhouse and lives amongst cats. Hunter, thank you. I'm sorry.
Welcome to the show.
I committed. I was gonna do it.
Yeah, welcome to the show, guys. Happy Friday. How was your week, Junie?
I went through a journey. I didn't tell you fully, but I went through a journey going up and down with levels of intensity, with how hard I wanted to go into what I was gonna subject you to today. And I'll tell you what, it was like almost like it changed like per day, like up and down. It was one giant wave of me going like, I'm gonna destroy him. And then I'm like, you're getting like mean and weird about this. Like, stop. And then I was like, simple things, I was like, this is just fun hearted. Like, oh, did you forget this? I know I did. And then I was just like, he's gonna look like an idiot. And it is just like up and down of just like when I looked at the the sheets of questions and stuff.
Yeah.
And I had my stream deck loaded with I'm not doing it. I'm gonna say I'm not doing it, but I had my stream deck loaded with like buzzer noises, like for correct and incorrect answers.
Yeah.
But like mine were gonna like it was clearly gonna be it's just like Junie got it right or something stupid. It's gonna be like and like different like positive noises, and yours were gonna be like the raunchiest like shitty noises. And I was like, this is just stupid and mean. Like, what are you doing? Like this is shifting to look malicious at this point. Uh 'cause I think I started the ball rolling of
I'm so
no,
worried. I
don't
have
be,
no idea
don't be,
what's
don't be.
coming.
It's settled down. No, it's super cash. I just want you to know that like because I don't know if you said it or I said it, just the joke of like it being very intense. Um, I was like, it should be, and then I kept redefining what that meant.
Got it.
What does intense trivia look like? Uh, and then Hunter experienced this. Nobody else had to, but I got angry at Hunter the first second he was not on our call for more than a millisecond.
Junie joined the call, and I immediately got yelled at.
I was like, "You son of a bitch," because I thought he was wearing a suit jacket, and I was gonna come in with a suit, like with a jacket and mic, and I was gonna be real like game show host with it. And then I saw he wasn't. He was wearing what looks like a delightful sweater.
It's a jacket. I got it yesterday.
A
Yeah.
nice jacket. Okay.
Yeah. It was.
It looks good on you.
Thank you. I found it in the clearance section of Target. It's like a
Hell yeah.
it's like a 40 something dollar jacket, and it was like $20, and I was like, for $20 I will wear literally any jacket, and I like this one, so bonus.
There you go. Yeah, no, that's a win.
Yeah.
That's a solid
I,
win
I
there.
went to Target yesterday during my lunch break to pick up cold and flu meds because Grace has been sick the last few days, and we
Oh,
were out of stuff. So ran out to pick some stuff up, and I came home with 3 bags of stuff, and was like, I bought flu meds and nothing else. Don't ask any questions. There's nothing in here. Don't mind me. But I bought uh for our trip, we have like a couple of like nice outfit
that's right.
nights that
Yeah,
we
yeah.
need.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so I've had this actually from the same brand as this jacket. I have a vest that I bought that is like a kind of like a plaid like kind of checkered pattern to it. And I've had that for a while, and then I found a pair of pants that is the same material. So got very excited about that.
Okay.
And then I found a pair of green corduroy shorts, which I'm very excited about. I might not wear them on the cruise, but I I couldn't not buy a pair of green corduroy shorts. They're so fun. And then I found a very loud blue shirt.
I'm still processing that.
Um,
I don't know. I know it's not very something that should be processed that intensely,
yeah.
but I am for some reason.
And then there's another shirt that has like just kind of like mountains and trees and stuff on it. When I showed it to Grace, she said it looked like the inside cover of a Lord of the Rings book. Because it's just kind of like this very like light but intense naturescape across the shirt as the design. Um, so yeah, I got that. Um, yeah.
I I felt that. I feel like I've been on this journey and I know what you were talking about. I I didn't do any of I spent days staring at you know what? No, I did one cool thing aside from maliciously plotting my friend's intellectual demise and watching a child. I went on a nature scavenger hunt with my child. That was
Ooh.
fun. I went on Canva and just like Googled like fall things
Hmm.
and then just like put it on Canva with little check boxes and we went out to look for different color leaves and sticks and such. Uh I realized that I am the most because for my niece, in case she came by, I printed out an extra sheet just in case, right? And I texted my sister-in-law like, "Hey, blah blah blah." She didn't come by, but my child, who I gave binoculars to my real Bushnell, like serious binoculars to,
Uh-huh.
right? This 2-year-old had real binoculars out there. Is we're out there searching for pine cones and such, and we see another child with like little toy binoculars and like they're like picking berries, something like that. And my child runs over to say hello. But then I do this. I look at the parent and I go, "Hey, if you," I realize now that this is so ridiculous. I realized how creepy I must have seemed now in retrospect. But just, hey, if you want to turn this outing into a chore, I have an extra one of these, and I gave her the scavenger hunt and a crayon.
If you want to turn this outing into a chore, is such
Yeah,
a good line. Oh
right?
my
And I
god.
was like, and, and her kid was about it. And she's like, and she was nice. She was like, "Oh no, this is great. Thank you." But oh
No,
God,
that's that immediately seems like you're just like you're carrying around random scavenger hunts, and you're just
but
like,
but the
ah,
thing is, I
child, I shall send you on a
in
quest.
case I would run into children, I have this prepared. But I
Just in
tailored it
case
to
a
like
parent
our
wants to turn their outing into a chore.
into a chore. And I was like, I knew that like what I would see, and I was like normal things. But there's also on the way to go check our mailbox, a neighbor has a little cardboard cutout of a chimpanzee, like just randomly sitting there like this, and it's like realistic photo
Hmm.
chimpanzee, not like a cartoony monkey. So on the checklist is a chimpanzee. It says fall scavenger
There's an
hunt,
inside
acorn,
joke in the
squirrel,
thing.
and then yeah, right. I had to explain it to her because I was like, oh, there's a monkey on there. There's a neighbor that has a monkey. Just it's on building 12. Like
Oh
it's
my
over.
goodness,
You'll see it.
that's so funny.
But it's like it was such a like if I walked away and didn't tell her that, she would have been like, "All right," but then the kid would have been heartbroken because he's a
Right.
little 4-year-old like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, mommy, I found this. I found everything. I didn't find a monkey." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
"Oh no, this guy set my kid up for failure
Right.
because we didn't find a monkey."
This strange wizard emerged from the mist, and they said, "If this
Really?
outing to chore you want, you must complete a scavenger hunt."
Wow. Wow, that was good.
Thank you. It's all my brain ever does is connect words. Um, well, welcome to Warlocks and Waffles. This is
What
a
are we about? We're a
this
Gabby's
is a
Dollhouse. Like
this
we're a
is a
Gabby's Dollhouse fan
TTRPG
cast, right?
podcast.
Oh, I'm wrong.
This is a
Okay.
TTRPG morning show. This is where you can come if you want information on TTRPG things, or if you want to watch two absolute buffoons sit in a call and talk to each other for roughly an hour. This morning, I tweeted out a picture of our title for this
Mhm.
episode. The title of this episode is Warlocks and Waffles, just some normal, friendly, non-threatening trivia to the death. And I'm very interested to see what that means, Junie.
Okay. Yeah. This started out as the humble, tiny, simple, non-crazy, non-threatening premise was just like, hey, there are sometimes little rules, spell descriptions, or just details about D&D that just you end up looking up a lot, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, my sneak attack, you know, even if, especially if like, oh, I've been playing this character for 2 or 3 sessions, I know the sneak attack is blank, but you still look up, you know what I mean? It's just like, oh, how
Hmm.
many smite is it 2d8? And it's like, yes, we know, like, you know what I mean? It's we still end
Yeah.
up looking at just for this, you know, just to feel like we got it right. So this started out as just a little trivia of like, hey, off the top of your head, do you remember these?
Right.
And I told Hunter that I went up and down in difficulties of like how intense I was going to do this. I'm not putting it up because I abandoned it and I'm not going to do it. But
But
everybody,
you
in
still
case you
want
were curious,
credit for
there's
the bit.
no, because this is something that will happen because I would like us both to work on it.
Okay.
If anybody uses Canva and you switch it to presentation mode, it actually gives you a like a thing where it's like everybody can join in the presentation.
Ooh, interesting.
You
Okay.
go to canva.com/live and it gives you a code. People can scan the screen, go to it, and there's a live chat
Hmm.
where people can chime in. So
Interesting.
I wasn't just going to be quizzing you, I was going to be
You're
maliciously
gonna.
attacking the world with trivia.
Uh-huh.
So as I did that, people would be able to chime in like it's
That's the
bugbear. You know what I
that's
mean?
the plot of the Dr. Horrible sing-along vlog 2, right? Is
Yes.
just
Yeah.
maliciously attacking the world with D&D trivia.
But the part that makes it another step up is you can put a timer on there. Literally, it says I can put a minute timer and go. So to make it more stressful. And then
Yeah.
Hunter, I know that there are times where, hey, I need to take your, you know, it's like, oh, coffee or oh, medicine or oh, something, you know, bad sleep. And I got to bed later than I wanted to yesterday. I went on a nature hike. And also I'm putting creamer in my coffee. There's I didn't want to do that to you. I got to the point where I was like,
I
is
appreciate that.
gonna like Hunter's gonna like take the effort to print out my picture to put it on a pillow to punch it. Like he is going to not like my face.
Grace has been
So I
because Grace has been sick and it's all like nasal and congestion and stuff.
mhm,
Like she can't breathe while she's asleep, which means that
mm,
I can't sleep because there's so much like congestion noise. Um
okay.
and so there's been a lot of like um like restless for both of us sort of nights.
Gotcha.
So yes, I appreciate the fact that my brain is not being
I
attacked while
this is
also being timed.
no. Yeah, that's I didn't want to do that to you. So I we're this is a softball with some curveballs in there, and I'm
Okay.
not going to maliciously hit hilarious buzzers on you, but uh we will be collaboratively because I think that oh man, this sounds so terrible. It's more fun to be mean with a friend.
Sure. Well,
If both of us devised a very mean trivia
yeah, we could do
to
this some other
maliciously
time.
attack the
Yeah.
world, yes.
Yeah.
So this is this may
For the
feel like an
for
attack because you're tired.
just some normal friendly non-threatening trivia to the death too. This time it's personal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is gonna for other people seem like this isn't that crazy, but for you, since you're tired, you're gonna be like, stop it. Okay.
Yeah.
And if you got stuff from me, you hit me with it. Because I am jazzed, like
I
always.
I prepped nothing because I assumed I was going to be on the defense the entire time.
Yeah.
Um I
Yeah.
also
But there's always those little ones where you're like, oh yeah,
yeah,
because
sure.
literally having the DMG open, I was like, oh, like it's those little
Just
things you're
having
like,
those
oh
like
yeah,
spin-off questions, absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
I have a like a playmat that is on my desk that has like all the conditions and
Mm-hmm.
what they are and stuff like that. So I've intentionally covered that up.
Oh, oh, very,
uh
very
I
okay.
have closed out the only browser I have open is my the ones that are running stream stuff.
Okay.
I have intentionally not logged into like D&D Beyond or anything like that. All of my
Okay.
5e books are over there. I have intentionally moved everything away that could potentially help me, so that you can adequately make a fool of me if I cannot remember the thing and I can't cheat.
Okay. All right. You ready? Are you ready for this? You
I
got your trivia
I
pants
am
on?
I oh, I didn't wear the trivia pants. I forgot. I put
Go.
on my
I'll vamp
regular
until you
pants.
get back.
No, they're so far away. I so rarely
They're
need
in my
them.
other they're in my trivia house.
Yeah.
I'd have to go, I'd have to leave, get in my car, and go to my trivia
They're in a
house.
bulletproof glass case in my mom's house. So I'd have to drive all the way over there and uh
And she doesn't like being disturbed in the morning before her breakfast. Uh
she would actually probably
Hunter,
be so jazzed if I just showed up and was
I
like,
know, I was about to say
"Hey."
it's like, oh, hey. Hunter, do halflings have dark vision?
Halflings do not have dark vision. I'm not 100%
Nardos?
confident on that.
Are
Is
you
that true?
sure though?
That is my final answer, but I'm not 100% confident.
Okay. All right.
I don't think they do.
That uh,
That final
final
answer.
answer before
Final
I
answer.
hit the button.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Womp, 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 womp. Yes, they do not have dark vision. Now,
That was such a sad buzzer sound.
I
Womp,
know.
womp,
You
womp, womp.
see, I can't turn off being a dick. And I'm sorry. This is me on soft core easy mode. And I feel like I've made you go through the journey of emotions already.
Oh
And
man,
all I did was ask you one question. This is my DM style, everybody. Simple, innocuous phrases that are phrased so poorly, it makes people go on a journey of emotions. So I feel like you would like, yeah, no, I'm pretty
yeah.
yeah, no, that's
No, the are you sure is such a good DM trick.
mhm.
But yes,
Okay. You are
yeah,
correct. They do
my
not have dark vision.
the reason I remember that one specifically is they are the only like small uh uh character that has no dark vision. Um because both gnomes and dwarves do have it.
Mhm.
Also,
Okay.
they don't really need it. They're like the hill folk, and they just have like little parties and stuff like that. They don't
I
need
think if
dark vision.
people just assumed like, oh, magical things.
Hmm.
If you're not human, then you can probably see in the dark.
Have you ever had a party that
Uh,
didn't have dark vision?
yeah. I
I
I
had
usually
an
end up
entire
being the
group.
character that can't see in the dark.
Yes, you
So
do,
like
because you like playing a
that's
very
my
humany human. Um,
yeah.
but
Well, no, it's like even
I
though
had an
like
entire group. I
don't
had
half orcs don't have dark vision too, I think?
uh
Is it half orcs or
I don't
there was
remember off the
something
top of my
else?
head. I haven't
This
had
is
a
the
whole lot of
thing.
half
Yeah.
orcs. But I had an entire group that had like it wasn't a conversation they had at no point where we were like, let's make a group that doesn't have dark vision. But I had an entire group that had gone through and made their characters. And when we started going through it, I was like, okay, does anybody have dark vision? And one of the players was like, I think I do. And they're like looking through and they're like, oh no, they don't have dark vision. I thought this had dark vision. And the entire party had made characters that didn't have dark vision, and that was such
Oh
a
wow.
wild game that I never would have thought about being a wild game because it created this new obstacle for a D&D group that I hadn't had before. Um,
I know I pick dancing lights usually for flavor, but
mhm,
like then there's those times where it's like, oh, I actually need to use this for sight
right.
purposes.
I like produce
Uh
flame for that because then you just have like a crackling fire in
mm,
your hand and you're like holding up your hand as a torch, but then if you get in combat, you can hurl it.
oh yeah. I produce flame and create bonfire were always ones that it's just like I think that like it's supposed to just be like I make a utility flame,
Yeah,
but people always go like, how can I hurt something with
yeah.
this? And then I end up having to look how much damage you could do, and I know bonfire does say
Create
like a
Bonfire
damage
specifically has damage on it.
does
Yeah.
have a deck save, yeah.
Produce Flame does as well, I believe. I
That's what I
think
mean. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, Create Bonfire is always a fun one. When people are like, I create bonfire where this guy's standing, I guess. Yeah, there's
hmm
it's a fun one. What's your next question, Junie?
Uh so yeah, here we go.
Hit me.
Different classes have different saving throw proficiencies.
Oh
They
no.
all have two. They all got two different ones. Um,
I'm terrified of
Hunter, what two saving throws are Rangers proficient in?
Wisdom and Dex.
I'm giving you the time for
Final
thought
answer.
process. This isn't
Final
a bit.
answer.
Okay. Incorrect.
Hmm.
And I will tell you this right now.
Mhm.
What you said is what I said.
Okay, it's not
Because
that.
it is not that. I thought the same thing because what you said
Makes
makes
sense. Yeah. Uh,
And it is not that.
are both of them wrong or is only one wrong?
One is wrong.
Will you tell me which one is wrong?
Well, I mean, there's only 5 things here, so it's like
I would say it feels wild that it wouldn't be Dex, but I think that's my gut is that it's not Dex. I'll say Wisdom and Constitution.
okay. A super ultra final answer?
Yeah, final answer
Okay.
part 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Okay. You're more wrong.
Okay, so it's Dex and something else. Is it Dex and Intelligence?
Oh. No, it isn't.
Wild.
You
Okay,
are thinking with your brain. That's
is
the problem with this one. It is strength and dex.
wild?
Wild, right?
Absurd. I've never met a strength-based ranger. Like I know dual wielding is a thing that rangers are like you can be a
Yes.
pretty awesome dual wielder with that, but that's still like dex usually. Like it's gonna be like 2 dex weapons, not 2 strength weapons. That's insane. I guess
Yeah.
saving throws aren't
I
technically connected to that, but strength is insane to me.
yeah, I would have thought like they're strong of mind and like swift
Mhm.
of foot. You know,
Yeah.
that's how I would have like thought of it.
Well, also
But I
strength
was like,
seems like such a common one across other classes that it's weird to me
really?
that they went
Okay.
with that one. Because like I would assume fighter, barbarian,
Mhm.
probably paladin, like all of those are like strength kind of like builds. So like to me it would make sense to go the other direction.
Look, I want you to understand the whole point of this trivia was to make, the kind of thing where it's like you have to go verify something. I
Yeah,
swear to God, I just went to go double check to go,
just to make
wait,
sure
maybe
you
I looked at the
didn't. Yeah,
wrong
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Did I
No,
look at the wrong thing when I was making this?
the saving throw bonuses are
So
something that I do like that I look at so rarely. It's just like this is something that is factored in by D&D Beyond. Like it tells me what
it's
those are.
automatic. Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
have to worry about it.
Mhm.
So I so rarely look at it.
There's a lot of
Um
math that we take for granted.
yeah.
Here's a bonus one that tech isn't even on my sheet. How do you calculate a spell save?
Spell save DC is 8 plus the proficiency bonus plus the spell casting modifier? No, wait. Is it proficiency? Yes, it is proficiency. Proficiency plus spellcasting modifier plus 8. Final answer.
I was very confident in this, and now I'm not. Wait, no,
Am I
it
wrong?
is not. I think that's wrong.
Is it 10 plus?
No, it's 8, but I think isn't it like an arbitrary number? Hold on. Now I'm like,
Junie asked me a question he doesn't know the answer to.
well, because I said this was a bonus one.
Yeah.
No, you are correct. You
Okay,
know what
cool.
it is? This is the issue of me playing. I play a lot of games in the same thing.
Mhm.
Because I knew 8. It was 8 plus something something. It was I was like, isn't it 8 like plus like 3 or something like that? And it's because
Mhm.
that's usually the proficiency
That's the
that, like, you know what I
proficiency.
mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like, no, there's another like just number, like a random number that it
Yeah,
always is. And I was my experience.
it's two static numbers that are added
Yeah,
together and
that
they
sounds
don't
so
just
stupid, doesn't it? Like that's so dumb to go like, it's 8 plus 3 plus another number. Like, yeah,
It's not
like not
11 plus your modifier, it's 8
no,
plus
no, no.
3
It's
plus
8
the
plus
other one.
3 plus yeah, like that's the journey my freaking brain went through on. And I was like, wait, I don't know.
Oh,
Let me
that's
check.
so
And I'm
funny.
like, you're an idiot.
I was relatively confident in that one, and then
No, no, no.
you were very confident that I was wrong, and so my brain was
No,
immediately
no,
like,
like
"Oh
that
no."
sounded right, and then it sounded right, and then I was like, but it's always blank. Like I used my own
Right.
very specific like experience to taint the like. There was a part of me going like, no, man, that's right, and I was just like, the devil's advocate part of me, it's like just needs to fight
Right.
everything.
No,
Just
it's
was like,
definitely
no,
8
check
plus
it though,
3.
check it, call the manager, check it, and it's just like, why don't you just accept it? I think this is right, man. um, but okay. That's a point for you, and a negative one for me if we're doing this way. All right, let's talk about some spells real quick. All right,
Okay.
this is a spell that in your defense that if you don't know it, that's totally fair, because this is probably one that does not come up all the time.
Okay.
But it's not like, oh, we've never heard of this spell. Animal friendship.
Okay.
I think a lot of players probably bypass this because they figure if they can talk to animals, they
Mhm.
can automatically make something their buddy.
Yeah.
And I know, like, I think the Beast Totem Barbarian might get this one by default, maybe. I know they get Speak with Animals. I don't know if they get. I know they get like the one where you could see through their eyes, and I know Druids have access to this thing. But uh, in order for it to work, the beasts have to have they have to do a Wisdom saving throw.
Mhm.
But they have to have an intelligence of something or lower for it to even be able to work. Do you know what that number is? Do you know how dumb by intelligence number standards a creature has to be for animal friendship to how dumb does something have to be your friend?
Oh
That's a
man.
real terrible way to put it, but I'm saying this is how the spell works.
I think it's 3 or 4. Um and I don't know if my brain is just putting 3 there because we said 3 a lot for the last question.
Mm.
Or if it is
Yeah, it's on me.
that
That's on me.
number. I think it's 4 or less. Final answer.
Okay. The answer is 4 and lower. You know your stuff. You are a professional. You're a professional.
Most animal things do revolve
Mhm.
around 4 or less because it is kind of a distinction between what is a like a regular animal and what is like something more.
Like, maybe a little a dog is more clever or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. Uh, so, uh, something that I know we talked about before, where it was like, what is like a homebrew rule? What is a variant rule?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I never because like a lot of people, it's kind of we reference what we need to reference. We
Mm-hmm.
don't like sit down and like read the Dungeon Master Guide, read the player's handbook like that often. Um, but like there are full blown like variant rules like prominently
Oh yeah.
displayed,
Yeah.
like, hey, yo, blank. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't know this one.
Yeah.
So like it's like I was like, oh, okay. But like in the DMG, there's a variant rule called automatic successes. It's where
Yeah.
a character automatically succeeds on
Yes.
a spell check with a DC less than or equal to the relevant ability score -5. Now, Hunter, what I just said, is that true or false?
Oh man. Can you say it again?
Sure. I'm gonna say something. You just tell me if what I said was true or my phone full of crap.
Okay.
There's a variant rule called automatic successes,
Mm-hmm.
where the character automatically succeeds on any ability check with a DC less than or equal to the relevant ability score -5.
Hmm. I think that's false. And I haven't read through that the variant stuff in a while.
Mhm.
Um I think that's false. My rationale would be uh that something like uh oh wait, the you said the ability score though, right?
The DC of the
Mhm.
thing, whatever your ability score is,
Mhm.
-5. Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's wrong. Um
Okay.
my rationale would be if that is a thing, then things like passive perception are
Mhm.
uh are in like no longer anything um because they are 10 plus the modifier. And so if I have like an 18 in that stat, that'd be a +4, which would mean that my passive perception is a 14. But 18 minus 3 would be 13, which would be lower. That's my rationale. I say it's false.
Okay. Once again, I think you're a professional, and what you said makes complete sense, and I love watching your brain work. Unfortunately, it is true. That
Okay.
is verbatim
Interesting.
copied and pasted how that works.
Okay.
Uh, it is if they automatically succeed on any ability check with a DC less than or equal to the relevant ability score -5. So if the DC is 15 and they got if the it's the strength whatever, and they got a strength of 20, then they just auto pass it.
Very cool.
No rolls involved.
Yeah. We have a
That
quick.
rule, I where's that rule found?
Yeah.
That was it's in the Dungeon Master Guide. You know what? I literally told myself to write the pages because I
Hmm.
was like, I'm gonna need to
Yeah.
fact check this. But it is in the Dungeon Master Guide. I believe it is in the Dungeon Master's workshop section. Uh,
Yeah. There's
because
probably a whole variant rules
that's where it
section.
gives you
Yeah.
like combat options and ability skill variants and stuff like that. So that's where those go. So if you go to the Dungeon Master Guide, they also give you a lot of like different feats and stuff like that. Uh, like there's a lot of variants there,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if it was in that combat. Oh, I do not like the variant initiative thing because the only variant initiative rule that I've really like kind of liked was persistent initiative, where it's kind of like everybody accepts like you guys are moving at XYZ pace. So it's like
Hmm.
we're gonna roll initiative one time and we're just gonna keep it rolling if there's a lot of, you know, like there's gonna be a lot of little encounters, something like that. It's like let's just keep the initiative. But it was something where like you just I don't know, you use your bonuses and it shifts things around. I don't know. Yeah. I didn't write the thing down, but it is in Dungeon Master Guide. I just copied and pasted. That is a true thing. I'm not crazy on that one. Uh, but Hunter,
Yes.
uh, we talked about DM screens, how like they have a lot of like cool, like relevant, like information or what they deem
Yeah.
relevant.
Hmm.
Uh, some of the things that I like seeing is random ACs and hit points for like just stuff.
Okay.
Because there's always gonna be somebody
Hmm.
that's gonna like try to break a chair or like I'm gonna swing at the lamp. Do you know what the AC for glass is? Just like it's just glass. How hard you gotta hit it? Crystal, glass, ice. It's solid, but it's not moving. So what would you think that would be?
8.
Okay. Final answer?
Yeah.
13.
Really? Hmm.
It is I would say that this is probably up to DM discretion if you dictate how hardy it is, but I would
Yeah.
say
It's the
like a
density at that
thick
point.
pane of glass. Yeah, and I think that's probably just to go. This is one of those things where I tell somebody you may be big and strong, but if you're gonna go kick the door open and you kick more of the frame instead of
Yeah.
the
Hmm.
door, or you roll your ankle, or you know, like so it's one of those things where it is glass, but if you punch it towards the edge, maybe you're not getting it. Like you know what I mean? You got to hit it just like right, or you hit it too broad surfaced and it's not gonna crack. But if you hit it in one spot, it really like spider webs.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
13, and that
That's
that
wild.
also got me like, yeah. Uh, I feel like you're gonna get this one instantly. I think
Okay.
you're gonna get this one very, very quickly.
I've never
Uh,
been more scared of a question.
no, I think this is an easy one. This is an easy one because I know it's. I need to look it up, but I think it's something people do kind of in their heads very quickly. Um, 5 feet is one square. Medium creatures are usually just that one square.
Yes.
Uh, how many squares is a huge creature?
Ooh. Uh. So medium creature is 1 square. A large creature is uh 1 step up, so that would be 4 squares. A huge creature would be 1 step up from that, so 9 squares. 3 by 3.
You're correct.
Dope.
You're correct. That's something I've had to have a picture of near me because I would go like, huh? Like what? Especially if like there's a mini, because you're thinking like it's just a perfect circle, and you don't think about like taking up X amount of
Yeah,
squares.
yeah, yeah.
Sometimes, uh, I've definitely on a virtual tabletop not made something the right amount of squares
Yeah,
because I'll
for
just
sure.
put the token over there. Yeah,
Hmm. I
you're,
I
you
do
yeah.
I do a thing with some creatures where uh like a whatchamacall, like a purple worm or a basilisk or something like that, where they're like long creatures, where I
Mm,
will go, okay, this is a like we'll say it's a huge creature, right? So it's a 9, like a 9 square thing, but we're gonna say that it is only like it's 5 feet across, but it's 9 like long, and I'll like draw it out on the map of like it is in these like 9 squares, and then it like can pull around and move within that space and stuff, instead of just having it be like a big like 9 squares on the board, like just a square section.
hmm
I like that. It gives me a little bit more like wiggle room of their reach and stuff like that.
I know I like that. Flipping. I'm gonna actually like clip this and remember because I actually want to do that. Because once again, it's just always a thing for me. I never
Yeah.
like I have to then get really cinematic with the way I describe it, and I go, well, actually, and then I'll like fix it. Um, yeah. Here's one that I forget is a thing all the time. Hunter, what's the AC bonus for 3/4 cover?
I hate this so much. Three quarters
This is the
cover.
question. This is the question I thought of originally when we started even discussing any of this. I was just like, yo, you know what I never use or think about? Like,
It's oh man. I never use cover. I think my brain thinks it's higher than it is.
Mhm.
I think it's 5.
Okay.
Final answer.
It is 5. A
See,
target has 3/4 cover if it's about 3/4 and an obstacle
my
is like any sort of arrow slits, thick
yeah,
tree.
half
Yeah,
cover.
5
Half
plus
cover
5.
is
Yeah.
half cover is 3, right?
No, it is not.
What is half cover?
2.
2. Okay.
I would reflexively think 3 as well, but I guess
Yeah.
that's to make the difference between half and 3/4 more like feel more
Mhm.
substantial.
My brain was thinking half cover was 5 and 3/4 was 8, and I was like, I don't think that's correct. So I bumped it down. But it is yeah, that is a wild difference. There's I just never play with cover. Like it just comes up
I
so
I
rarely.
I give it to people a lot, but and then I end up like using it like advantage or
Yeah.
disadvantage,
It's just easier.
or like doing that. It's almost like it's I have the sliding scale in my head
Mhm.
where it's like, oh, you're mostly covered. I'm gonna make this harder hit, and then do that whole like, yeah, that feels right type of thing.
Yeah.
I've had players ask me, what was the AC or what was the DC? Like, what did I have to get? And I was like, I didn't tell you.
Mhm.
Partly because I don't want you to know, but also because like that is almost fluid in my mind, depending on like he shifted to the left. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's almost
Yeah.
like he shifts a little, not to be unfair. I'm not gonna be like
Yeah.
always changing the AC of something, but like if the situation is changing like, constantly or whatever, like I'm going to, you know, do what the situation the scene
Yeah,
dictates.
absolutely.
Yeah. Uh just because we like numbers.
Do we?
Hunter, yeah, we know we love them. Hunter, what how much HP do you get back from a superior healing potion?
I hate you so much. Um,
I'll give
okay.
you a hint though. I will give you a hint. It uses D4s.
Yes. Um, okay. So I know a regular one is 2d4 plus 2. Greater is the next step up from that. I think that's 4d4 plus 4. Superior is the next step up from that, and I can't remember if it is 6d4 or if it jumps up a little bit and goes to 8d4. I think it's 6d4 plus 6. Final answer.
All right. Uh I think healing potions are the one thing I look up all the time and maybe like make fun of myself.
Mhm.
Like basic healing. I'm like, he's like, how much is a regular healing potion for? Something like, it's 2d4 plus 2. Yeah, I'm like, wait, yeah. Like I'll look up a basic way
Yeah.
too often, more times
Yeah.
than I'm proud to say. Um, kudos to you for knowing what the next one was. 44 plus 4 is the next one up.
Okay.
You should have stayed on your train of logic though and kind of doubled it. It is 8d4
8d4
plus
plus
8.
8. Yeah.
8. Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't
doubles.
sure if it was incremental
It doesn't double for
or
the last instance, but
going
it's
up.
still the last instance is wild. Actually, the jump
Is it
between
12?
no,
10.
it is 10,
Yeah.
but the plus at the end of it is 10d4 plus 20.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
This is why we have to look things up so often, is that the logic
Correct.
doesn't logic. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, fun.
Mm-hmm.
10, 2, 4, 10, 12, but the bonus goes up. Yeah, love it. Great.
Mm-hmm. Hunter, real quick,
Mhm.
what's the primary spellcasting ability for clerics?
Wisdom.
What's their saving throws?
Oh man. Is it not wisdom? Uh Wisdom Constitution.
All right, final answer.
Yes.
Okay. Incorrect. Would you like another stab at it?
It
This is more stressful morning than this
I,
is me
I
not
hate,
not
I
going with
hate
buzzers and
this. I
I was
hate
gonna have
this
lights,
question.
bro. I was gonna have lights going on every time. Like I was gonna take our overlay and go, hey, can you send me the overlay real quick? I'm curious about something. And then send you another overlay and go, hey, can you download this file and just in your OBS switch it? And I was gonna have the same camera placement, but with a really nuts game show setup. Like it was gonna be so extra, bro. And I was like, you know,
Next
these
time.
questions are gonna
Next
be
time.
enough. These are good questions are gonna be enough to stress him out. I'm not gonna hit him
Yeah.
with overlays. Like, hey man, can you
Uh
do this overlay thing real quick?
okay. It's not Wisdom Constitution.
I will say that in
Um
my head, this does make sense, but that's just me.
is it Intelligence Wisdom?
It is not. I saw
Hmm.
this and I was like, I can see this being a curveball, but it does make sense to me. But I can see it being a curveball.
Okay. I feel like maybe it's not maybe it's not wisdom, even though that is their primary casting stat. Um Intelligence or let's change it up. Let's go Constitution Charisma.
Okay. Incorrect.
Okay. I give up.
You
This
did one step forward, one step back.
okay.
It is wisdom,
Okay.
charisma.
Okay.
And to me that makes sense only because it's like
Charisma's
I
the
think of
paladin thing.
evangelical.
Yeah.
I think of it as a paladin thing, but almost like it's something where it doesn't always come into play, but the rare times it does, it's always interesting where it's like, oh, you think of somebody that has this connection with a deity or a
Mhm.
religion or whatever, and it's like already assumed that you're cool with them or you know how to talk to them,
Yeah.
or something like that. But it's and you know how to spread the word. But how many times have we seen like a cleric with a a charisma dump stat, and it's just like, oh, spread the word of your deity, and they have like negative, and it's just like
Mhm.
what? But their saving throw is just like their god going to like whispering in there. It's just like, hey, you got this, like bolstering there. You know what I mean? And
My
I can
favorite
understand that.
with clerics is that clerics are a wisdom based caster. And
Mhm.
so the people that play clerics always have good wisdoms in there. But then intelligence ends up being a pretty low one for them usually. But then religion is a intelligence based skill. So
Yeah.
it's almost always that my clerics will have garbage religion because they don't have
Yeah.
a high stat for it. Um, I
Here's
hate
another
those
bonus
saving
one
throw
because
ones. Those saving throws
oh yeah,
suck.
no, it's I'm not gonna hit you another one. I'm not gonna hit you with another one of those. Don't worry.
Here's a bonus
But because
question.
I have the
What is it for this other
here's
class?
well, no, actually, because I have the chart up, I think this is kind of funny. Um, aside from saving throw proficiencies,
Hmm.
every class has like this is what they're good at wielding, like weapon
Sure.
and armor proficiencies.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
uh, are bards proficient with shields?
Ooh,
Right, right. Doesn't that like make you go, wait, what? I mean, well,
yeah.
hmm, hmm.
I'm gonna say no.
Final answer.
Yeah.
You are correct.
Is it?
Light
It's
armor, simple weapons, long swords, rapiers, and short swords. No sword, no shield.
yeah, yeah. I was gonna say I think it's just the like it's the like fencing and like sword play
Mm-hmm.
sort of vibe. So it's
Mm-hmm.
a like the light armors, the and then like all of the like um anything from anything any of the martial swords that
Mm-hmm.
are versatile or finesse, I
Yeah.
think.
No, no. I think that's what looks like, right. Long sword, rapiers, short swords. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um
Yeah.
I
It's
love a bard.
that's that distinction between martial and I think the only martial one that's like physical and whatnot is the rogue that doesn't, like everything else is like can hold something because it's a fighter,
Mhm.
it's a barbarian, it's um. Oh, I'm a liar. Monk. Monk. Monk can't hold shield either.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I would Captain America shield if I was a monk. A monk with a shield, like
That's
giving you
pretty cool.
like,
Yeah.
and we go by that rule of like, no, he could take it off real fast, and he kicks the
But
shield
it
around.
makes sense though that a monk is like wants to have their hands free for like unarmed strikes and stuff. If you got a shield strapped
Oh,
to it, that's gonna be a thing.
well, that's why I picture
Um
like a buckler and fighting like Captain
mhm.
America. You know what I mean? Like you're using it to bash, you're using it for like that like almost like you're cutting things,
Mhm.
throwing it, kicking it. I would use deflect missiles. I was like, yo, my shield's come back. Can I kick it back at him? You're gonna kick your own shield that's come back? Yeah, kick it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that
yeah.
sounds like fun. That sounds like a good time.
I love deflect missiles.
I never get to see it used.
I I
It's unfortunate.
I told the when we were in Seattle for the live show, I told the story of my one player who because I use my like alternate critical rules.
Mhm.
Uh, somebody they were like on a boat being attacked by Marrow. And the
Mhm.
Marrow are like in the water throwing harpoons trying to like pull them off of the boat into the water. And the monk the harpoon got thrown at them. They deflected missiles, and then they went to throw the harpoon back at the Marrow by spending a key point, and rolled a nat 1 and then another nat 1 and then a nat 2, and
I've heard this. Yes.
just
Hmm.
deflected the harpoon through their own leg and into the leg of the other person behind them, and then the Marrow pulled them into the water anyway. It was great. It's my favorite Nat 1 story from that campaign. I laugh about it all the
That's
time.
it's so ludicrous.
Uh,
Hunter has I've never heard of more stacking misfortunes than like you know what I mean, like Hunter has tables. Hunter
I have
has
tables and charts.
nested tables
Yeah, yeah,
for misfortunes that creep up on you.
yeah. My my players last night they have a deck of many things that they had gotten,
Hmm.
and their artificer was like holding on to it, was like, I'm not letting anybody draw from this, had hidden the deck in their room, and the rest of the party had like tried to get it from him, and he was like, no, you can't have it. And so they had like gone about their way, and then at the end of the session he had gone off to do something, and so I was like, okay, so what is everybody else doing? Like while Oliver is gone. And so they like without missing a beat, the one the one player just goes, "Oh, I'm ransacking his room looking for the deck." And so he walks into the room, rolls an investigation check, nat 20s, and immediately like finds the deck and pulls it out. And four of them drew cards. And so I have the like the deck of many things over here. So I like take it out and I count out the cards and I'm like, okay, pick a number between this and this. Four of the players picked their numbers. I flipped them over to like see which cards they had gotten, and then I ended the session without like revealing what cards had been drawn. So we will start next
Oh,
session with the cards being revealed for them.
oh, that's
I'm very
good. That's
excited.
real good. Oh, that's good. That's applause worthy right there. That's really good.
It's gonna be
Oh,
they have a whole week to just sit and stew and wondering like what happened.
oh, you mean, and I love it. Uh, uh, I don't know how to phrase this question, so I'm just more gonna say, hey, you know what I just learned, and I really thought about it. Uh, when you think of somebody like looking for a trap, right?
Uh-huh.
Uh, what would you do? You come up with the DC on the spot, or go like, this is roughly how hard it is? If it just says it, it says it. But did you know this is just a more of a that like
The more you know.
I always separated like I separate all the DCs, right? But like if like whatever you know the DC to disarm it is, that's also the DC to just spot it.
Mm, interesting.
It's like in the DMG it says something like if it's like if they're looking for traps, they can roll a a wisdom perception check against the trap's
The
DC
disarm? Interesting.
to find it.
Nice. So that is
So
so you'd essentially have to roll the same DC twice to spot
correct.
and
But
disarm.
imagine a hard trap that
Yeah,
might not be super well hidden, but by that logic, then it's hard to spot.
right. Yeah.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
I feel like um part of the disarm at that point, you could almost be like as long as you have the tools to disarm,
Hmm.
if a rogue is attempting to like find and disarm traps, you just make it the one check. To like
Mm-hmm.
it is all involved in one thing of like they have to like roll high enough to find and disarm it.
Hmm.
And so it's just that DC.
But imagine the collaborative. Everybody's walking into a room. Everybody rolls perception checks. The wizard spots it,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's like, all right, well, I'm the rogue. I'm gonna roll to get it, but it had a dumb high DC, and they roll a 14. And
Yeah.
it's like, shit, you know what I mean? It's like one of those
Yeah.
things. It's like, dang, it's like you didn't beat the ZC. He did to find it, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
what? You know, it's just you know, what I mean, I think of like how obvious is it type of thing, and then versus how hard it is to disarm. But to go like those are the same. Like they describe it as like just use the same number thing. I'm like, uh, okay, all right. Um, you know what I'm bad with in real life and in D&D? I'm bad with money, right?
Okay.
So, uh Hunter, do you know
Mm-hmm.
the the cost of lifestyles for the price per day? If you wanted
No,
to live comfortably, do you know how much the official like, hey, you want to live comfortably? Do you know how much that is per day?
I don't. I have no idea. Comfortably feels like a silver something. Um,
Do you want me to
say,
describe it?
yeah. Describe what comfortably
Um,
entails.
choosing a comfortable lifestyle means that you can afford nicer clothing and can easily maintain your equipment. You live in a small cottage in a middle class neighborhood or in a private room at a fine inn. You associate with merchants, skilled tradespeople, and military officers.
Oh, it might be higher than um a gold piece.
How much you think that would be? A gold piece?
Yeah.
It is two gold pieces.
Really
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I'm bad with like the breakdown. I think in my brain
I
it's always like I make gold
the
a
the
single like the
the
lowest
economy
piece
is
type of
weird
thing.
in D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I always make like a gold like a buck and that's ludicrous.
Oh,
I know
yeah,
that's
yeah,
not
yeah.
actually it. You know what I mean? But it's one of those things like for math's sake, I just kind of like round things, and money's not usually a
For
huge thing in my games.
for me, I
Like my quickie one
usually
shot.
I think of like a copper piece as $1,
Mhm.
a silver piece is $10, and a gold piece is $100.
Mm,
Is
that makes sense.
my mental conversion. So like like comfortable life is 200 gold a day, or $200 a day.
Hmm.
That
You
seems
want to know? You want to know
still high, but
aristocratic?
it's fine. 10 gold a day.
It literally says 10 gold minimum, implying it can be way
It
more.
can be anything, yeah.
10 gold minimum to
Yeah.
be a very, very fancy person.
Yeah, I mean, most adventurers can afford that at some point. At a certain
This is
point in
true.
your career, gold becomes more of a weight issue than a finance issue.
I was gonna ask you what the gold, but I was like, I'm not even gonna go for the weight of gold and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Hunter,
I
what's
never
the
play with gold
saving
weight.
throws for wizard? Just tell me. Come on.
You fuck.
Hunter, you
Intelligence
got
and
this.
wisdom.
It is intelligence and wisdom.
There we go.
I wouldn't know, Hunter. You're a champion. I'm building you up, man. You got this.
Uh
I wouldn't hit you with something bad like that. You know.
huh.
Jeez. God.
It's
What's
weirdly
the
it's
saving throws
weirdly
for ranger? Just
strength and
curious.
constitution.
Do you
Uh
remember the saving throws for
yeah,
ranger?
it's strength and dexterity.
No, it isn't. It's wisdom and just no, it is. It's just wisdom. They only get one.
It's wisdom and the secret seventh stat, panache.
All right. This is a dumb one. This is a dumb one, and forgive me because I don't know why. Once again, this is a thing. No, it never gets used in my games. Can wizards use darts? Because darts is its own proficiency.
I think
There's
darts is,
simple
I think
weapons,
darts is,
martial,
I think darts is a simple weapon.
but darts is listed separately from simple weapons, is what I'm saying. There's simple weapons, martial, crossbows, short bows, long bows. Darts are their own
Well,
proficiency.
anything like any stat can be its own proficiency, but
Mhm.
I believe darts is included in simple weapons. I believe darts is a simple weapon, and also you can be proficient in just darts.
Okay. Okay. So you're saying
Um,
wizards are proficient in simple weapons, so they'd be proficient in darts?
I think wizards do have proficiency in darts.
You saved yourself, right? Because if you'd have said they have proficiency in simple weapons, I'd say
I
you're
didn't
wrong, bitch. It's
I
just
didn't say
darts.
that.
No, you
That
didn't.
wasn't
You
the
didn't. You didn't
question.
say that. You did not say that. No, no, no.
I'm
I thought you
clarifying
were
that
gonna say something.
I'm
You said
clarifying
the
that
correct thing.
that weapons are their own proficiencies, and
Yes.
also there are
Yes.
larger categories.
No, you actually the shit out of
I've
that question.
watched enough actually to be able to
Yo,
provide
no,
information and know I know things, while
it was
also
expertly handled,
retroactively
sir.
handling.
You
Yeah,
you expertly handled that. You navigated. You started saying something that I was like, "Is he gonna say it like this?" And you did not. You were like, "No, any proficiency can be their own proficiency." Hence, like bard. Bard can
right,
have just rapier and
right.
long swords. Like, no, you tap dance around a minefield, and it was like a dance.
Uh,
It was beautiful.
I'm glad I could serve.
Yes, I closed that tab, sir. I don't have the proficiencies tab open at all. You're not going to get asked any more saving throws
I don't believe
or
you, but go ahead.
and it's gone. It's just it is not there anymore, okay? Um you ever hear of the spell called Glyph of Warding?
Yes.
Uh you know how like you can do like different different oh geez, hold on. Hold on. Uh oh, hold on. Yep. Okay. Sorry, I have a child that wants a banana.
It's your familiar.
Yeah, it's my familiar. Yeah. Uh so oh, okay, hold on. Uh ah, dude. I'm sorry. uh oh no, I moved the thing. Okay, I got this. Okay, just there's more than one glyph. Tell me the glyphs. Tell me the glyphs. Tell me the glyphs.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I can't. There's a few of them, right? Oh man, I think you can
I
do.
had it up and it totally went away, and I was like, no, no.
I think
Oh god.
you can do like a damaging one. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I don't think I've ever had a player that took that spell.
Mhm.
So I don't know off the top of my head.
It's explosive runes.
Mhm.
This is one that I've only seen used in that way. I've only
Right.
seen like, but it's one of those things I knew it did other things type of
Right.
thing. But explosive runes triggered, it erupts in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on, and you choose what type of thing. Um, but the other one, which is like I remember it and I forget that it's there, is a
Is it an
spell
alarm?
glyph.
Oh, a spell glyph.
It's
Yeah,
a
you can
s-
put another
you
spell
put
into
a
it. Yeah.
you put a spell into it type of
Mhm.
thing. And at first I was like, doesn't it do like a bunch of spell? Like, doesn't it do a bunch of things? And it's not that it does a bunch of things. It only has two modes, and it's explode and whatever spell you put into it.
Yeah.
That's the one that's a curveball for me.
I have an NPC in one of my games who has uh is this like planeswalker person that this one group is trying to find. And they found out where he was staying and they went to like break into his room. And they go to like break into his room and he had put these like protective glyphs around the door. And essentially what it was is he has planar magic, so he can like travel between planes and stuff like that. So he had put these runes on his door where the doorway, there's a very, very thin like planar rift, and so if you walk through it, you'll like walk in and out of the rift as you like go through the door. But every time that rift is disturbed, everything within 10 feet of it gets hit with this like of like the
Oh god.
like Into the Spider-Verse glitching as the rift opens up. And so the party was like running into this room and the first person runs through and all of them take damage, and then it's just them like trying to like get into this room. The other person like threw one of the other NPCs into the room that immediately set it off. Somebody tried to jump through it, set it off. They were so close to dying before they got into the room because they just
Oh
kept
my
going
god.
through the door. It was so funny.
And then the
Oh,
real battle started.
and then the real battle begins.
And then the real
He pretended to teleport. He made a big show of like drawing a circle on the ground and slamming his staff down in the middle, and like this rift went out around him, and he just cast invisibility and then stood in the corner.
Ooh, that's good. Ooh, that's real good. Oh man. Oh, that's really good. I'm gonna use that. I'm
It's
gonna
so
use
fun.
that. That's good.
The player though like caught it real quick, was like he was like, just in case he didn't actually teleport, I cast Dispel Magic where he was. And I was like, okay, let's determine this.
I would
Yep.
the next time I have like a next time I'm gonna like, this is one of those ones where sometimes I like to look at my players and just see what they're proficient at
Mhm.
and throw them a bone. Like, oh, I know this person's extra good at it. Let me throw in another. Like, I would 1000% if I had a wizard or just somebody that's proficient in
Oh yeah,
Arcana,
make an
just
Arcana
like
check. Yeah,
make an Arcana check, and I would have the guy like look like he's teleporting and he's just
yeah,
casting invisibility. And then there's like, that's all the stuff for invisibility.
yeah.
And they're like, wait a second,
Those are
he's
all
still
illusion
there.
runes. Yeah,
Yeah, like no, that like it's just like I was like, he did a lot of things, but the only thing that actually mattered was the ending, which was invisibility. Every
hmm
other thing on there is for show. Like
yeah,
it was just theatrics, and then invisibility. It's
yeah.
just like whoa.
Well,
Um,
his whole thing is like his planar stuff takes a little bit more time, and they were like in combat, and so he's like, I don't
okay.
have time to actually like send myself
Peace out.
somewhere.
Mhm.
So he's like, these guys look stupid. They're almost dead trying to walk into the room. I'll just invisibility and wait for him to leave.
Okay. We're over time, so I'm just
Yeah.
gonna end with a real dumb one.
Okay.
I was gonna ask you. This is the question I was gonna ask you,
Mhm.
and then I'm gonna skip it because this is the one that I gained from it. I was gonna ask you how much gold is 1 pound of gold. If you know that one, go for it. Otherwise, I'm gonna skip to the one that I know I want to ask now because I looked at this chart and I was like, oh, that's a weirder one. That's a weirder question.
People are gonna
So,
see me like moving around and doing stuff on my computer. It is because
are you mathing?
I pulled out a calculator.
Yep. Yep. I was just like, oh, you know conversions and things. You have like concepts of like, oh, this is roughly blank. I don't. Like this was I was like, really? Um the com- I love the way this chart like goes like equates how much things cost to one another. But 1 pound of gold, what do you think it is?
100 gold pieces.
It is 50 gold pieces.
Really? Is a gold piece
50 gold
point 0.02?
I don't know. I didn't check that math. I'm looking at a chart. We got a chart that says 1 pound of gold equals 50 gold.
Interesting.
It's in the DMG under trade goods table. But Hunter, I'm on this chart and I want to ask you
Oh,
how much
you're asking. Okay, got it.
Okay. Yeah, I want you to tell me how much gold is 1 pound of cloves or one pig. The hint is they equal the same amount.
Yeah.
1 pound of cloves
Yeah.
or one pig.
Here's the thing. I've had a party buy a pig before.
How much was it, Hunter? Was it on sale?
I should
What was
know
the market
this.
rate? What was the market rate for the pig?
I remember how much I charged them. I don't know if it was the actual price is the problem. 3 gold.
Oh, okay. You're gonna go with 3?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying that the price of 1 pound of cloves
Mhm.
or one pig is 3 gold.
That feels low. 15. Final
15.
answer.
Final answer, 15. Okay. What you said was the price of 1 pound of saffron or one ox. You were correct at 3 gold, sir.
Wow.
You were right at 3 gold. That is the price for
This is
1 pound of
This
cloves
is what
or
I'm saying.
one pig.
The economy of D&D is so freaking weird.
Wow.
Oh man, I can't believe
That's
I
what we're-
did pull that out of the back of my brain
Oh
and then
yeah, I was just
immediately
like,
abandoned it.
I clenched. I was just like,
Oh, man.
I don't want to give it away. That's 1000% correct.
Yeah. Because 3
yeah,
gold
you-
is
you
what I
just
charged.
skyrocketed.
I remembered I charged them 3 gold for it, and I remember at the time I was like, "Ooh, that feels low for this pig." And I think what it was it was a very specific situation that they were buying that pig in,
Mhm.
and so it was like maybe I want to charge more for it, but it was a like it was just the
like,
price. Yeah.
It's one of those things where I rely on these tables to get the idea of like, all right, what is this?
Yeah.
Because 1 pound of cinnamon or pepper is also the price of one sheep.
Yeah.
So I'm like, one is definitely more sustainable than the other because like cinnamon or pepper, that's fine. You use it, but a sheep, you keep getting wool. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like it in my head, that should be more money. But that's the way that goes. So yeah,
It reminds me of like my wife always teases me that like I used to work at Little Caesars. And so I worked there during the peak of the hot and ready pizza. So I equate the cost of other foods to how many hot and ready pizzas I could buy for that. To determine if it's a good value. So I'll be like,
so
this
good.
this dinner is $20. That's 4 pizzas. Is this worth 4 pizzas?
That's so fantastic.
If I go to McDonald's and I order a meal from McDonald's, is gonna be like $10. So I can have one like Filet-O-Fish fries and a drink, or I can get 2 Little Caesars hot and ready pizzas. Like
That's a
the
very
this
tough
metric
mentality to shake.
doesn't work.
I
But then you
I
look
understand.
at like Wendy's. Wendy's has the like $5 biggie bags. That's like nuggets,
Yep.
fries, burger, drink. That's $5. That is a good
Mhm.
value compared to like a pizza. I feel like that's comparable value. Same thing goes for
Mhm.
like Taco Bell used to have the $5 box. Like those like all of
You're
those
making me
things.
real
I'm like,
hungry, and I told myself I wasn't gonna order food like for breakfast. I don't have money like that,
I
and I
apologize.
really, really want to do all those things now. Okay,
Uh,
I gotta let you go, but I'm struggling very hard to not order Taco Bell or something. Huh? I'll get you some orange juice. My child wants orange juice. So, yeah, we're gonna end with the price of a pig and Little Caesars. You know how many Little Caesars hot and ready pizzas is one pig?
wait, I can do this math.
Do it.
It's
Do it.
five.
End with this.
So
End with
we're
this mental
yeah,
gymnastics. I'm gonna
there's no
talk while
call
you're
to
doing it though.
action.
So you gotta
There's no call to
you have
action
to
this week.
no.
It's
The call
just
to
this
action is the
information.
information. It's the
Okay.
information that one pig equals blank number of hot and ready pizzas.
It's
Look at
so
you can see
hard
the
to do
numbers
math with you
while I'm
talking into my
talking.
brain.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I can feel it. I can actually see you like shaking.
60 so I think it's 60 hot and ready pizzas for a pig.
What?
According to my math of a gold piece is $100. Uh a pig is $300 to buy a pig. A hot and ready pizza is $5. 5 goes into 120 times. That's 60 for 300. So 60 hot and ready pizzas equals one pig, according to the D&D math that I have kind of arbitrarily decided that a gold piece equals
Tweet it out.
$100.
That's gonna be the tweet. Like Hunter's gonna be sending out later. We're gonna boost that.
Yeah.
That's the
Big
call to
takeaway from
action.
the
Just this weekend. No, there is a call
yeah
to action.
yeah
All weekend, figure out how much hot and ready pizzas everything is worth.
yeah. I'm
Use
gonna
that as your metric.
this episode is going to be renamed to how many hot and ready pizzas does it cost to buy a pig.
Oh, that's good. That's a really good title. Like that's just titling something is like, well, they're gonna watch the whole episode to figure out
Yeah.
where that comes into play. That's a good tactic right there. I'm sorry, everybody, but that's just good.
Oh man. Uh have a great weekend, everybody. We will be back on Monday with more nonsense to start your week. We will not be streaming next Friday, and then we will be taking a little bit of time off for the holidays, for Thanksgiving, for those of us who are in the States. And then we will be back following all of that. So if you're not in the Discord yet, make sure you've joined the Discord, and keep an eye on our socials, so you know when we are back. But we will be taking a short break for the holidays. So have a great weekend, everybody, and we will see you Monday. Bye, y'all.